What's going on, guys? Bojo 672 coming to you guys a video right now. So I want to go over my top 5 players that are going to have breakout years this year in 2019. Okay, pretty exciting. I thought over this pretty good for a while, but there's probably somewhere I could add maybe another player or two. But these are probably my top 5 that I think are going to have real good breakout years this year. So let's get straight to it. Avonte Maddox is my first on the list at number 5, just because Avonte Maddox played pretty damn good last year, okay? Beginning of the year in 2018, first quarter of the year, Jim Schwartz was making changes in the secondary because of injuries. Ronald Darby getting hurt, Ronnie McLeod gone, a bunch of guys were out, Jordan Hicks getting out, this whole defense was getting pretty bad at one point. I mean, the whole team was pretty much doing bad, but we had too many new faces, and what happened was Jim Schwartz was switching people around, and we had Avonte Maddox at the safety position in the beginning, and then moved him to inside in the slot, in the nickel, and then moving him to outside where he was definitely comfortable. And we definitely saw that. As fans, we definitely saw that Avonte Maddox was definitely comfortable on the outside. He was the top-graded corner in the playoffs last year. And he had a really good year. He's got very good instincts with his eyes. He reads routes from wide receivers very well. When a wide receiver is coming back on a comeback route, he reads it very well. He's got really, like I said, very good instinct. Guy can deflect passes. He's a small corner, but he plays big. Can't really complain about it at all. I was very happy. I know he got beat on a few double moves this year, but it is what it is. It happens. He was thrown into the fire last year. He was thrown into the fire last year as a rookie, and you know what? It worked out. Sometimes you have to throw players to the fire, because if you just keep them, on the bench, sometimes injuries are a blessing. Not that we want injuries to happen, but sometimes injuries are just a blessing, and stuff happens. So very happy with Avonte Maddox. Had a few picks this year, this past year. And what showed he has a lot of fight. He doesn't give up. And if he screws up on a play, he comes back and makes another one. So got to be very happy for Avonte Maddox. And I hope you guys are too. So can't wait. Think he's going to have a really big year. I think this is going to be where he's going to put his stomping grounds in and show that he is going to be the outside corner of the future for the Philadelphia Eagles. So very happy to see that. Jordan Howard. Well, we acquired Jordan Howard from the Bears in a trade for a conditional 6th-round pick. That can turn to a 5th-round pick when he plays a certain amount of snaps this year, and will most likely be giving the Bears a 5th-round pick after this year. So Jordan Howard getting traded to the Eagles meant a lot of things. This was before, we drafted Miles Sanders. This was we had Wendell Small, we had Corey Clement coming off an injury, and Darren Sproles was not around. So we're and Jay Ajayi was gone. And not bringing him back, thought he would get a big contract, but with the torn ACL plus the back fracture, Jay Ajayi is still looking for a team till this day. So Jordan Howard brings so much more to the table. I think, in my opinion, that he's a big. Even though I was kind of upset that we let go of LeGarrette Blount, which he's still a free agent as well. Getting Jordan Howard, you involve him so much more. The Bears kind of made him one-dimensional. In the beginning, he was pretty much doing everything for the Bears as their running back, and he was pretty much catching balls out of the backfield and downfield, and running up the gut. Till Tariq Cohen went on the Bears, then they started using Jordan Howard differently as like a finisher, tiring out defenses with his Punisher, bruiser back type, rush up the middle, and then after that, pretty much, I guess Jordan Howard knew he was on the way out of Chicago. So this was very good. I think, like I said, upgraded LeGarrette Blount. He was the top running back last year in the red zone, #1, and I could see why. I watch him a lot. I watched a lot of tape on him. And I think with this offensive line that we do have, I know Brandon Brooks, the right guard, is going to be out a few games, but we're cross-training some offensive linemen, so hopefully, Brandon Brooks will be back. He's aiming to be back week 1. Could happen. As of right now, he's pretty much done with the rehabbing, I guess. I guess he's rehabbing, but he's fully on the field now, but probably no contact for a while. Jordan Howard is just a bruiser, okay? And it's not only that, but Doug Peterson is going to be using him a lot more than just running up the middle on third and shorts, on second and shorts for those tough yards. And like and mentioning the tough yards, you can use Jordan Howard for those tough yards, and he can get a lot of it. You have a top 5 offensive line with the Philadelphia Eagles this year, and Jordan Howard could take advantage, especially with having Deshaun Jackson on the outside at Zach Ertz and Alshon Jeffrey, and having this great offensive line, plus Carson Wentz being a weapon of its own, extending plays. Seen a lot of video from minicamp, OTAs, Jordan Howard going out for passes, and I'm not talking about a dump-off pass. I'm talking about literally going out for, like, deep threat passes, which is crazy. Vertical routes like crazy. Hey, I mean, it's very exciting. I think that, Doug is going to use him to his full ability. I think Jordan Howard, not saying Jordan Howard's going to have a 1,000-yard season, but I think he's going to have, 600 to 800 yards is good with me. Maybe, 7 to 10 touchdowns this year is good enough for me. We have a lot of running backs in the rotation. You still have Miles Sanders, needs to show what he's got. Corey Clement's coming off injury, great running back. And, Wendell Small has pretty much been trying his hardest to, show off what he can do. And Wendell Small has done a great job. But Jordan Howard is going to be used and utilized in this offense very nice. The way he runs his feet, the way he gets contact, and it's so hard for defenders to take him down. I know we've shut him down a lot the past few years. The last 2 times we met with the Bears, we've shut him down in their offense. But I think this is a chance for Jordan Howard to shine. I think he's going to shine in this offense. I really do think so. I think, he's not the home run running back. He's not going to run a 70-yard touchdown, but he's going to get you those tough yards, and it's going to add up, and he is going to do a very, very good job. And the defense is going to be spread out with everything that we have, and it's going to be very easy for Jordan Howard to get some runs, and very easily. So I think Jordan Howard is going to have a really good year this year. I'm very happy with this. I'm so glad that the Eagles not only went into free agency went for a trading for a running back, but going into the draft as well and getting a running back. So loaded at running back right now, and Jordan Howard's going to have a good year, so can't wait for that to happen. Brandon Graham is another guy that I think is going to have a big year this year. I think in my heart that he's going to have a double-digit sack year this year. That's what I think. I could say he can have a double-digit sack year. Malik Jackson probably have a double sack year, maybe even better. Who knows? Fletcher Cox is going to get the double team, so I don't know if, he had 10.5 sacks, so I don't know. He'll probably do pretty damn well. Fletcher Cox does well all the time, but with more more players on this D-line, the more depth that we do have, the better that this D-line stays fresh throughout the whole entire game. This way in fourth quarter situations, we're not dying. They're not gassed out there. But, Brandon Graham, a lot of fire on him. He got a big contract. Did not expect it. I don't think any of us even expected Brandon Graham to get a big contract. So very happy with Brandon Graham and what he's done. He was probably the reason why we won the Super Bowl in 2017, stripping Tom Brady and Derek Barnett picking it up, which gave us, the one stop of the game that made everything count. But, Brandon Graham, he's one of those defensive ends where his sack numbers weren't always there, but his pressures were just always there. But I think that his sack numbers will go up this year. I think he will. I mean, he's aiming for a double-digit sack season, but I honestly think he could do it. I think he has every bit of the world to do it. I think he's comfortable now. I think now, since this deal is done, he's going to do his thing and do what he's got to do on the field. So, there's not very much more to say, but he's an absolute monster. And I think he's the one that's going to do very, very well and have an upscale year this year. Zach Ertz, another guy. Zach Ertz is just, I know it's not the Zach Ertz show anymore, but I think it's still going to come. I think Zach Ertz is still going to get, his targets regardless, okay? And in minicamp this year and OTAs, they've been putting Zach Ertz by himself on the outside as an outside receiver. Going to be using different combinations with Dallas Goedert, with Zach Ertz as well. And Dallas Goedert, probably right after Ertz, in this top 5. He's probably another player. Dallas Goedert's another player that's going to have a breakout year as well, a pretty good year. I just have to go with Zach Ertz right now just because he's the first man up, and Carson Wentz has very good connection with him on the field, and it's shown. But this isn't the Zach Ertz show anymore, like I said. But with Deshaun Jackson on the field and the running backs and Carson Wentz just sitting back there, with this offensive line, it's just going to be Zach Ertz. These defenses are going to have trouble to cover these guys, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. So looking forward to Zach Ertz having a really good year. Number 1 and final is going to be Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is going to have a good year this year. Whether people believe it or not, I'm not going to go into the whole rant stage of Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz is 100% healthy, and that's all we can ask for right now. But in my mind, in my head, in my heart, Carson Wentz is going to have a spectacular, explosive year. Extending plays on his feet if he has to, being cautious, and throwing the ball to all these targets. Because the problem was last year, throwing to Ertz all the time, and then after everything, Nick Foles came in and started hitting different targets. The only way Carson Wentz is going to succeed in this offense is if he throws to different players. That's how it's going to have to happen. He's got running backs now. He doesn't, he's got plenty of running backs now behind him, take the pressure off him a little bit, but he's got to throw to every player. He throws to every player. He is going to be absolutely amazing. I know what he can do. Us fans know what he can do. So very excited to see Carson Wentz this year, breakout year. This is, I'm hoping, okay? I'm hoping, but not even I'm hoping, but I know that this is going to happen. I know that Carson Wentz is going to have a good year. I just know that this kid has been fighting and fighting through the injury and through everything the fuck else that has happened with the past couple years. I think now is his time. So that's what I really got to say about Carson Wentz. I have full faith, 200 million billion% that I am knowing that Carson Wentz is going to have a fantastic year. The deep ball looks a lot better than Deshaun Jackson. Been watching his throws during minicamp and OTAs. The deep arm looks absolutely amazing. He looks faster. He's wearing like a little black sleeve on his leg, but everyone's making a big deal about that. But hey, I can't wait to see a little bit of Carson Wentz. Pennsylvania is coming back in full throttle this year in 2019. So that's really it, guys. That's my top 5 players. They're going to have breakout years this year. I'll have another list out probably tomorrow, the next day, whatever. I'm kind of just going through some things right now. I want to go over some of these players. I'm pretty excited about this year. I think we all should be excited because this team could be a Super Bowl contending year with this roster that we have, and we really can't deny it. But that's all I got to say, guys. I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up. Fly, Eagles, fly.